It's 90 minutes to go. I'm Priya Rai and we're counting you down to Panama versus England. These are the live pictures coming to us from inside the New York, New Jersey stadium, where some fans are already beginning to take their seats. It's England's final game before the rounds of 32, but their performance tonight will determine what their path could look like.
I'm Lizzie Greenwood-Hughes at the BBC Sports Centre. We'll bring you the starting lineup and we'll explore what's next for England after the group stages.
At the end of a sweltering week across England, we're at the swimming pool here in Manchester, although this one doesn't have any water in it. This is the splendid Victoria Baths here in Manchester, and well, very soon hundreds of people are going to be in that pool right there, watching that big screen at the deep end.
We'll also be live with fans in Legends, one of New York's most famous sports bars.
Come on, England! Come on!
We'll have all the reaction from our very own fan wall, made up of supporters from across the country. There is not long to go, and it all starts right here. Hello, how are you? It is really good to see you again, and we are building you up for England's final group game. Now, we know they have got a place guaranteed in the last 32, but where will they finish in their group? We can just see on your screens here, the Panama team have just arrived at the stadium, at the New York, New Jersey stadium, and we can see Jed Spence there arriving along with his England teammates walking into the stadium, and there will be a few things on their minds. I'm sure good to know they are already qualified to the knockout stages, but there is still a game to play. There are still some questions to be answered. Where will they finish in their group, and who will they be playing next in the knockouts as a result? We'll be talking through some of the team news. We know there are a few names already out there. We'll be talking through some of those, and as soon as it is all confirmed, we'll be bringing it straight to you. We'll of course be live in New York and at the stadium, as you were just seeing there. I'm going to be speaking lots to our fan wall, basically our virtual living room, because we know there are a lot of you watching from home, unable to make the trip stateside, but don't worry, you are in the right place. So there is a lot to get through. First things first though, let's get straight to the New York, New Jersey stadium with our reporter Sammy Muckbell, because we are hearing a few things about Thomas Tuchel's starting 11. So what can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right. It was news that we brought you earlier this afternoon. Thomas Tuchel has made 5 changes to the side that started against Ghana. The headline news, Morgan Rogers comes into the side. Declan Rice is injured. He can't play. Neither can Reece James. He's out with a hamstring strain. James is going to be replaced by Jarrell Kwanzaa. That's a bit of a shock move there by Thomas Tuchel. A lot of people expected Ezri Konsa to play at right back. But Marcus Rashford, he makes his first start of the campaign. So does Bukayo Saka, and Elliot Anderson is fit enough to start despite a glute problem. So it's a really attacking lineup selected by Thomas Tuchel here today. And they're going to go out there, you expect them to get the job done pretty early.
And we can see on your screens as well, some of the team are just then in the changing rooms. Sammy, one of the questions that we know lots of people are asking is the importance of this game in terms of where England finish in their group and therefore who they play next. So talk us through some of the maths.
So yeah, I'm going to refer to my notes here, but there's some permutations that I need to get right. England are currently top of their group by goal difference, ahead of Ghana, who face Croatia today. If England win and maintain their goal different advantage, they will finish top of the group, and in that way they'll get their desired route through to the latter stages of the tournament. Anything other than a win for England, however, and it will leave their chances of finishing top spot in jeopardy, particularly if Ghana defeat Croatia this afternoon. If both teams draw, then it will come down to goal difference. But that's why it's so important today for England to get a result.
Yes, and it's also a 10 o'clock kickoff UK time for the other game for Ghana, Croatia. So I'm sure there'll be people kind of trying to do a bit of multi-screen and see what's going on there. But Sammy, what's your take on the rumours, the the starting lineup that we think Thomas Tuchel is going to go ahead with in terms of what his approach to this game is?
It's a really attacking approach. I think against Ghana, they struggled to break down that low block. There's such a tight defence. The Ghanaians traditionally really strong at the back. And I think if we all watched the game, and I think we can all probably agree that England struggled to break that down, to unpick those locks in the Ghanaian defence. What Thomas Tuchel has done here today, I think partly helped by the fact that Declan Rice isn't fit, that he's picked two attacking midfielders in Morgan Rogers, Jude Bellingham in the middle of, in the centre of midfield, and Elliot Anderson will hold. Hopefully for England and for Thomas Tuchel, that would provide the basis of them to break down what is probably going to be a resolute Panama defence. But England on paper look to have enough to break them down, win the game and finish top of the group.
Yes, and I'm sure we'll be asking many questions throughout the next hour and a half or so in terms of what Thomas Tuchel is thinking and what his approach may be. Sammy, thank you very much for now. Let's see what some of you are making of England's chances and what you want England to be doing tonight against Panama. Some familiar faces on our fan wall, but some new ones as well. Let's hear from some of the new ones. Hasib and Rakib, how are you doing and how are you feeling about tonight's game?
I'm doing good right now, but based off the performance of Ghana, even though England have qualified, I'm hoping to see some good attacking football today and see England absolutely thrash Panama today.
Rakib, are you nervous or very, very, very optimistic?
I'm kind of nervous.
You're nervous. Maybe that's just what it is to be an England fan. Junior and Philip, can I speak to you? Because, Junior, you're somebody who often goes to football matches with your dad. He's in America, though, watching the games there. So you're watching it with your granddad, but you love watching and making content for your YouTube channel about yourself at football games. So tell us about that.
Well, my whole YouTube channel kind of started with me wanting to do YouTube, but my dad at first said no. But then one game, at a match that we went to, someone in the crowd was being horrible to me about me wearing my ear defenders. So my dad said then I could do my YouTube. I could start a YouTube channel to raise awareness of my ADHD.
And you found that really helpful, haven't you, is what I understand, and you find that really a positive thing to do. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I do enjoy making my content and going to all of the games.
And he does a really good job. Really proud of him.
Oh, that is brilliant to see. And let's get also a quick word from Oliver, I think, who actually, in case you've not met Oliver before, because he was on our fan wall from England's first game, but you've played at the club where Harry Kane, England's captain, started out as well. What are you hoping from him tonight?
Yeah, obviously, I know he missed a sitter against Ghana, but you know, hopefully, I expect. I mean, me and a lot of people, a lot of fans expect for him to go out and score 1 or 2 today, set the game off.
You think 1 or 2 from the captain? Big ambitions then. We're getting some talk of the team news. It's looking pretty likely that we know who is starting. Grace, any of the new names in terms of people who are getting a start for a first time that you're really happy about?
Anderson, definitely. Being a Geordie, he's still very well loved up here, so it'll be really good for him also because of the massive news about him going to City. So it's kind of like a chance for him, because there's sort of been people talking about being like, oh, is he worth that much money? And I think this is the chance to show that he is, hopefully.
And I want to be picking up lots of your knowledge because you are somebody who does lots of writing as a budding sports journalist on all things for your home club as well. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that and maybe a couple of the Newcastle players. All of you sit tight. We have got, it's a long game ahead till 10 o'clock, so keep your energies high and we'll be back with you quite a few times. So we can see on your screen there the live pictures of the players starting their warm-up out in the New York, New Jersey stadium, and you can see some of them still feeling fairly relaxed, but things will begin to heighten as well. Let's go to our Salford Sports Centre, where Lizzie Greenwood-Hughes is there for us and keeping across that team news.
Yeah, Priya, thank you. You were right. There are 5 changes from the last match against Ghana. So that team news that Sammy Mokbo brought us earlier, that is the team they're going to start against this match in Panama. Now, we already knew that Reece James was going to miss out in right back, and he is being replaced by Jarell Quansah, as Sammy said, which is a surprise. Now, in a moment, we're going to be talking to the Times correspondent Henry Winter to get his reaction to that, because I think everyone was really surprised when we heard that Quansah was going to be playing, because it's not his natural position. But in Thomas Tuchel we trust. Elliot Anderson is still in, but Declan Rice is rested because, again, as Sammy said, he had a little bit of a knock in that game against Ghana. So we will be speaking to them in a moment, but they have made 5 changes. O'Reilly is now starting. He's made some changes to the sort of width there. Marcus Rashford is coming in, and Bukayo Saka. Again, this will be a relief to many people because he had a bit of an injury. He's been carrying an injury for some time, actually, to his Achilles, but he is now starting this match. So I think it shows that Tuchel is going for strength. They do want to top the group, England. It will make a huge difference to the teams that they play next, whichever team that is going to be, as we're going to come on to the permutations a bit later on. But they want to top the group. That would really help them with their next match. Interestingly, Jude Bellingham and Morgan Rogers playing together. They've only played together 3 times before. Bit of controversy there. A lot of people maybe some people say they don't think they can play together again. I'll be asking Henry Winter what he thinks about that. But obviously both brilliant players, and Elliot Anderson coming in for Declan Rice. And of course, he is the player that is about to be sold from Nottingham Forest to Manchester City for over £100 million. So he's a class player, but no Declan Rice. He's being rested for now. So Quansah and Gueye at the back. And of course, Gueye and O'Reilly play together at Manchester City. So it's the dream team, isn't it, having any kind of defensive formation that play together in their club football. Well, let's hear now from some guests. Let's go to Henry Winter. Henry, I'm fascinated to hear what you have to say about this lineup. So I'm just going to ask you initially for your reaction, please, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, pleased to see Rashford in there. I mean, we know how quick he is. He's obviously got a point to prove to future employers. And also the fact that he is replacing Anthony Gordon, who is effectively replacing him at Barcelona, where he had such a successful loan spell last season. Gordon is a terrific player. We've seen that at Newcastle, but he's been a little bit underwhelming in this tournament so far. So Rashford, who's had 35 minutes off the bench in the first 2 games, scored in the first game against Croatia. That's really important that he comes back in. Bukayo Saka, as you've been referencing, is definitely first choice for England on the right, and for Arsenal ahead of Madueke. I mean, you were talking about the central midfield. I mean, Anderson obviously keeps his position. And Declan Rice, I mean, I asked Tuchel about this yesterday. The fact that everyone was sort of focusing on Declan Rice or maybe carrying an injury. Did he have a calf problem, a dead leg after the game the other night? Actually, this is purely tactical. It's because he's on a yellow card and they don't want him suspended for the next round because he's such an important player. England have 3 key players, as you've been saying: Kane, Bellingham and Declan Rice. And Rice, it's very sensible to make sure he's there for the next game. Defence, Quansah, he's a centre-half. It's just Tuchel has handled the right-back situation so poorly. And, you know, when he was talking yesterday about, well, he was a bit surprised that Reece James, no one could have predicted that Reece James might get injured or struggle to do back-to-back games. I think any Chelsea fan, any England fan, any football fan would actually be able to point out that Reece James does have an issue with the injuries. It's quite rare. I don't think he's started back-to-back games, certainly for Chelsea, you know, this calendar year. So that was no surprise. Tino Livramento, when he got injured, he went out. Everyone was saying, well, why don't you call in another right back in terms of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who was obviously keen to come, but there's obviously an issue there between him and Tuchel. And he brought in Chalobah as a centre-half. So he stopped stockpiled centre halves, not fullbacks, and he could pay the price. To be fair to Kwanzaa, he's played there on a few occasions for Liverpool when he was there. He's a right-sided centre back at Bayer Leverkusen. He can drift out there, but it's a specialist position, and he's not a specialist at it. But look, he'll give everything because that's the nature of Kwanzaa.
So if you were in charge and you only had the squad that are currently out in the States, who would you have put in that right fullback position?
Well, I think everyone is. We're all England managers, aren't we? They're 55 million England managers. I mean, England managers down the years have always said this to me. It's the most scrutinised position in the country, probably after the royal family and whoever's at number 10. So, yeah, I mean, I think everyone's got an opinion on that. I mean, look, the important thing is O'Reilly's coming at left back. I'm slightly surprised he didn't shift Jed Spence over to the right because he is a specialist fullback. It was quite amusing, actually, because he was talking to the media. This is Jed Spence in midweek, and he told the writers that left back was his best position. Then he went into the radio room and said that right back was his best position. So let's say that he's versatile and he could play there. But look, Kwanzaa will give an attacking threat and a blocking threat, without getting too technical, at when England are attacking corners. So I think maybe Tuchel will have looked at that. But he's got too many centre-backs and not enough full-backs, and that's down to him. I do quite like the team. I like Bellingham as an 8 rather than, well, he's a world-class 10. We've seen that at Real Madrid and elsewhere. But he can play in a game like this against a low block. He can attack from the 8 and get beyond. Harry Kane will drop off and Bellingham will bomb on and Anderson will shield. So I think it's quite an attacking team once you take into the fullback issues, particularly right back, into account.
Henry, I was just going to try and work out how many World Cups you've done, but just quickly tell me, how many World Cups have you done?
This is 10.
Right, so you know what you're talking about, OK? So obviously we know that anyway, but do you think, in your experience, that Thomas Tuchel had a dilemma as to whether to go safe tonight and just try and preserve his top players, which obviously, we talked about Rice, but or try and quell the doubters because the Ghana performance was disappointing, wasn't it?
Well, the one thing about Tuchel is he absolutely does not care at all what other people think. And I quite like that in an England manager. I think he's got that self-belief. Look, he's a fantastic coach. We saw that with Chelsea, the tweaks he made towards the end of the Champions League final, which got Chelsea over the line. We've seen it wherever he's gone. He's in the top 5, 6 coaches in the world, let alone in English football or England football. So yeah, I think he knows what he's doing. He has access to all the medical records. He can see who's going into the red zone, who's played too many minutes and who needs to come off at what individual times. I mean, he's not sort of picking this team on the back of a sort of cigarette packet, if there are such a things nowadays. I mean, he is very, very detailed in what he does. I just think he's made a mistake over right back. And I think the whole Trent Alexander thing, whether that's personal, whether he genuinely doesn't rate him as a defender, I think is bizarre. But apart from that, you've got to say that's a pretty attacking team.
Yeah, no, just very quickly, because we're just going to move on to Panama in a second. But I know I really need to ask you this at the end of the tournament for England. But where do you rate Tuchel so far? I mean, how impressed are you by him as a manager for England?
We can't rate him until the first knockout game. I mean, England managers go through training. We could go through qualification easily. Capello won, I think, all but 1 games, and that was a dead rubber in qualifying for 2010. And then England stank the place out there. So the only time you can really judge an England manager is in the knockout games, which will be the next round. He's an exceptional manager. Everyone will quibble over certain little things. But look, England could win 3-0 today, and it'll all be rah-rah Tuchel again. We do blow with the wind on these things.
We do. I am going to book in an appointment with you, Henry, at the end of the tournament. Let's hope England go all the way, and then you can tell me where he ranks in your history of England managers. Thanks so much for me there, Henry Winter, with his reaction to the England team. Well, let's move on now to Panama, because, of course, England, it's not just England. England are playing Panama, who can't make it through to the knockout stages. They know that they're out. But what sort of team are they going to put up? Well, let's go to our Panamanian football expert, David Sakata, who joins me now. Hello, David. Thank you for taking the time to speak to us here on BBC News. So tell me, what's your reaction? Who's the team? I can't profess to be an expert in Panamanian football, but tell us about the team.
Don't worry about it. Thank you very much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. It's obviously an exciting moment every time we have a game at the World Cup. That's not Henry's got 10 World Cups. We've only been to 2, so that makes a difference, an important difference in terms of our experience, definitely. So he's going. Our coach Thomas Christiansen, he's going to hold on his idea of how he wants to play. However, he's making 3 changes for today. One of them is Tomás Rodríguez is going to go up front With this, he's gone with a different striker on every single game. Started out with Cecilio Waterman, then with Jose Fajardo, and now he's going with Tomas Rodriguez up front wearing number 9. And then he's also moving on the sides. He's moving on the defense on the sides. He's keeping 2 of his 3 central defenders. He's going to keep Andres Andrade, who plays in Austria. He's going to keep on Jose Cordova, who plays in Norwich. And he's starting on this game Fidel Escobar, who's been a critical figure in terms of the development and the process that he's carried. However, not many of us saw that he was fit for the World Cup, but he's been one of those persons who Thomas Christensen trusts in a lot. So that's why he's going to be as a starter today. And then he's going to keep Amir Murillo with number 23 on the right side. And then on the left side, he's going to have Gutierrez. And there we have the 3 changes he's going to do for today. He's moving Blackman out of the other position, putting Gutierrez there, who is naturally a player in that position. In front of them is going to be Carlos Harvey and Edgar Bárcenas, and then Martinez, who was the MVP of the game against Croatia, and Jose Luis Rodriguez is making the starting 11 for the World Cup. In our last game, we understand that we don't have a chance, but coming up to this game, we are the only national team who hasn't scored on the World Cup, so that's definitely one of the tasks up front today. Coincidentally, the only goal scored in the World Cup by a Panamanian player was against England in 2018 in that game in Nizhny Novgorod. The goal that came after was an own goal by Tunisia, so we're looking forward for that to be one of the objectives today. Scoring against England is not an easy task. Looking forward to that, and then definitely holding the position the players have had in games against Ghana and Croatia, because regardless of the result, which we know is very important, we're looking to having a result at this World Cup. We have seen a competitive team in those 2 games that we played.
I was going to ask you, David, actually, we'll talk a bit more about their motivation, because obviously they're already out, in a moment, if you wouldn't mind. But the thing that everyone's talking about, and it's a shame, isn't it, but this is just how it is in the world today, is that altercation at the training ground. We're just seeing pictures now. Just talk me through what was going on and who was involved, please.
So that's Jose Luis Rodriguez. He's starting as a winger on the left today, number 7. And that's Cecilio Waterman, the starter for the first game for Panama up front. This is an incident in the training, in the practice, in the last day before, the last game of the World Cup. But as Thomas Christensen put it, it's nothing. It's nothing that went over. I mean, understandably, we're at the World Cup. Every single detail, every single image makes an impact. And it could be seen as something, deterrent to the spirit of the group, or how their togetherness is being put, to test here. But it's in the way we see it. It's an incident that happened in practice, but nothing more than that. It does not go over to an incident where, players are not talking to each other, or that there's a broken team. That's not what we feel is happening. And then, as I said, Thomas Christensen was asked about this in the press conference yesterday, and he played it off as something that happens, in the spirit of competition inside a group of men that are looking forward to have a starting position, and that actually want to show their face in a better form at this World Cup where they haven't been able to score or get a result. So I wouldn't say this is much. We've seen probably worse in the scenario of competitiveness. It's just, a shoving, a pushing, strong words at each other, but it stayed there. It didn't go further than that.
Now, as we've been saying, unfortunately, Panama can't go any further in the tournament. They're already out. But England are a scalp, aren't they? I mean, they're going to want, presumably, well, you tell me, they're going to want to beat England, aren't they, tonight? They're going to want to score their first goal of this tournament, and they want it to be against England.
It's been so close for us. I think that game against Ghana was a positive, in many terms. Unfortunately, that ending, that 94th minute goal from Ghana broke our hearts, broke our our spirits. And you could have done something more in that specific play that ended the game. And you get that feeling that you were so close to achieving something that is going to be a history in terms of sports. Getting a point, getting a result at the World Cup. It's something that, for a team like ours, it has a very big dimension. So it did not happen against Croatia, even though we played very well. And it happens now that we're facing the favorite out of this group, that even though you tied against Ghana, we understand that, the differences in infrastructure, in structure, in league play, in market value, that it's abysmal compared to Panama. We understand that. But once they're in the field, players have been specific to say that, those differences aren't shown in terms of facing 1-on-1. So yeah, definitely we have to look forward to our most fiercest competition, being England, be the one that will allow us to get a point or a goal to end this World Cup, hopefully on a positive note.
OK, David Sakata, the Panamanian football expert, thanks so much. And there'll be England fans really hoping that this is not the time that Panama get to score against England. Thank you so much. Well, Priya, we're going to go back to you now. And I would imagine that the Panamanian fans know a lot more about England than maybe England fans know about the Panamanian players, because, of course, the Premier League is so global and so popular. But it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight. I'll have the permutations a little bit later on for you.
Yes, absolutely. 1 hour and 5 minutes to go. And as Liz is saying, we know lots of you are wondering about who England will be playing next. So she has been doing the maths for us, and we'll come to that in a little while. But I want to go to Manchester first, and our reporter Phil McCann, because you're in an old Victorian swimming bath that has been somewhat repurposed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Victorians quite did this, did they? Blaring out music from a sound system with a huge screen for the World Cup. But that's what's happening here tonight at the Victoria Baths in Manchester. Absolutely beautiful surroundings. We were speaking to the people before who got married here. Jack and John are behind this whole project, this whole event. You've done this for the other 2 England games that there have been so far in this World Cup. What's the atmosphere been like?
Yeah, the atmosphere's been great. I think, we didn't expect people to turn up or even know that this venue existed. People are just finding out about it through word of mouth, and the atmosphere's been great. We've got a few footballs in there, people are knocking them about. It's the same old sort of stuff. As soon as football comes out, people are excited.
And I mean, you had about 100 people here on Tuesday when there was that kind of uninspiring 0-0 draw against Ghana. How do you think people will be feeling tonight?
Yeah, I think they'll be excited. I mean, I'm not sure England have got that much to play for. I think they're pretty much through as it is. But ticket sales have done really well. We've got just a couple of tickets left for tonight, so it's going to be pretty much a sellout. And the excitement is there, even for a game that really for England doesn't mean an awful lot.
It feels like a bit like people are kind of letting loose, doesn't it, after that horrendous heat wave this week. It's finally got a bit cooler, although it's quite hot and humid in here. It's just you're expecting people just to be able to. It's a Saturday night as well. That's got to mean a lot for people.
Yeah, that's it. I think as soon as people get a little bit drunk, I don't think people will care about the humidity in here. I think if the England game's on and we're scoring goals, people will be sweaty and hugging and having a great time.
A little bit drunk, we heard that. Thanks very much, guys. Let's have a chat over here to Simon and Diane. How are you feeling?
Oh, excited. First time at a fan zone. First time watching England at a fan zone, so very excited.
And what a fan zone as well.
I know, yeah. It's amazing. Look at it. It's just got everything, all the original features. It's like magical when you come in here, isn't it?
How are you feeling ahead of the game then?
Oh, really excited. I'm really excited for us to top the group, and I think we're going to do amazing.
Much feeling of jeopardy, because I mean we're through, aren't we? So
yeah, I think we're through, but we want to top the group, get the best position for the next opponent, definitely.
Can I trouble you for a score prediction?
Sorry?
Can I trouble you for a score prediction?
Ooh. It's Panama. I've heard they're having issues in camp, so I reckon we're going to win this 3-0.
Well, you've heard some rumours about issues in camp. Wow, okay. How about yourself, Dan?
2-1.
And that's that.
Going 2-1.
You said you didn't want to talk football because you've been at Hendu all day. I mean, that's very impressive.
I need a win for my dad. It's desperate. It's desperate.
Everyone's at home watching.
And what do you think we need to see that's different to what we saw on Tuesday?
We definitely need to be more adventurous. We just sat back far too much. We're a world-class team. We need to actually act like it. Move forward, be adventurous. Don't keep passing it sideways. That's all we need.
Thanks very much, guys. Thanks very much. Right, well, as I said, the atmosphere is building here tonight. There's going to be a massive influx of people in here when the game starts, because I've said it a few times tonight, it's quite humid in here, but then again, it is a swimming pool.
Yes, if only it was full as well and you could have a cool off, Phil. But we'll check in soon. It is 1 hour and 2 minutes to go until England kick off against Panama. We have still got so much to come for you here, including checking in with fans in New York. And we will, again, mull over that team news that we have had of Thomas Tuchel's starting 11. Scan that QR code on your screen there to continue watching our build-up coverage here on BBC News Live. You can see the sprinklers hard at work there inside the New York, New Jersey Stadium. And those seats have been filling up since we first saw these pictures. Plenty of fans trying to get in there early and soak up the atmosphere. We know how special it can be to have some World Cup tickets and be able to watch your side play in real life. But let's go to one of New York's most famous sports bars. Neda Tawfik is at the Legends Bar for us. What a place you get to be, Neda.
Yeah, the atmosphere here is really incredible. As you mentioned, we're here at Legends Bar across from the Empire State Building. And for fans who weren't able to get tickets, this is one of the places to be. England fans kind of chatting together to decide where to take in the game. I spoke to one fan, Ben from Chester. He was in Boston, from Boston to New York, trying to get tickets. He was monitoring for 6 months, hoping prices would go down. But he said this is the next best thing. He is just smiling ear to ear like other fans here. You can hear they are singing in unison. We've been hearing the famous football chants already for over an hour here as they pregame, including Oasis's Wonderwall. That was quite a performance here. But just so much excitement. There is a little bit less pressure knowing that England is through. But, you're hearing from fans they still want a big win today. They are confident in it. And I spoke to some fans. Nigel, for example, from Lansing, he already bought tickets to Atlanta, hoping that England would lead their group and head there next. So he's going to have to change his whole itinerary, if they don't come through. But a lot of excitement here, and they are pre-gaming and ready for this match to begin.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, New York is a city that knows sports well. But what have you made in terms of how football as a sport, or soccer should I say, has gripped the city?
Well, look, New York is a very diverse place. So in that sense, when you talk about the appeal of football, New York kind of has a leg up just because so many people tie it to their culture. It has a ways to go. We saw that, of course, with the Knicks basketball win and the ticker tape parade and how that created a frenzy in the city. The World Cup is not quite there yet, but if you go around, I've gone all around the city seeing fans gather in Times Square, Bryant Park, just being tourists in other parts, whether it be the World Trade Center or the Empire State Building near here. And besides the fan zones, you see the bars, the pubs just absolutely packed for matches. There is a real excitement, of course. We've heard a little bit of the criticism about how America can be a bit expensive between the ticket pricing, the transit pricing, the cost of beers and food, but you also hear the other side, people saying that they have just been pleasantly surprised by how they've been welcomed and just how joyous the environment is now. It really is a feel of the summer of sport here in New York, and the city definitely has an extra pep in its step with all the tourists and getting to see the other cultures, from the Viking row, from the Norwegians, the Brazilians celebrating, and now the English with the famous football chants here in the bars.
Neda, it sounds like from the atmosphere I can hear behind you that you are definitely in the right place, and I hope I can speak to you again before we get ready for the match at 10. Thank you very much for now, though. We have got just under an hour, 57 minutes and 40 seconds until kickoff. You can see there on your screen some of the players as they were walking into the stadium not too long ago. We do, though, have that starting 11, of course, from Thomas Tuchel. So I want to see what some of our fan will make of that. So let's come over here and speak to our fan wall once more. You've all got either a whiteboard or a piece of paper to hand. So this is where we get those out. And I want you to rate the starting 11 out of 10. 10 is you're very happy, couldn't ask for better. 1 is you don't like it at all. So out of 10, how do you rate Thomas Tuchel's starting 11? As soon as you've got a number on your piece of paper, hold it up to the camera nice and high so we can all see it. Okay, so we've got an 8 from Junior and Philip. Oh, an 8.5 from Ralph. 8 from Grace. 9 out of 10 from Andy, Brad and Ethan. Oh, I can't quite see yours, Hasib. Bring it to the middle. Oh, a 6. Okay. And a 7 out of 10 from Oliver. All right, number 9 out of 10, Andy, Brad and Ethan. Let's talk to you. Why are you feeling so optimistic?
We think it's a really good lineup. Rashford starting, he's deserved that. We think it's going to be really positive. What do you think, Bradley?
I reckon Saka, we needed Saka with his skills, his pace, running down the wing and putting balls into Captain Kane.
Yeah, yeah. I think
to finish him off.
That's it. We've been missing that bit of class, haven't we, to get them balls to Kane to score. So yeah, that's what we're really optimistic. We're really happy with that.
Yeah, and I'm sure Saka as well will be happy to get his start, having been nursing his Achilles. Chris and Ralph, you gave us an 8.5. It sounds like you've thought hard about that, Ralph. What earned the 8.5? So you're really happy, in case you didn't hear that, he's really happy that Bukayo Saka is starting. While I'm with the both of you, is it possible, because you guys basically live on the estate in London where you've got England flags everywhere, are there any around you that you're able to show us?
There's a few.
Oh, go on.
Let me just take the camera off, and I'm going to turn it around that way, and then you can see our estate. If I go that way, excuse the fan. That's our estate, currently decked out in flags, ready for England to come to the Kirby with the trophy and start the parade here.
That is just incredible. There you go. You're getting a brilliant... Oh, I thought that was a rainbow for a second that you caught as well, but it's just the sunshine, I think. But that is incredible.
There is a rainbow. Oh, no, there was a rainbow earlier.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's just fantastic. It's like you planned it, Chris. How long does all of that take?
This year, it took us about 3.5 days this time. The years before, it's taken us about 6, but we put them away really particular last year. So we managed to get the job done really quickly this year.
That's incredible stuff, and I'm sure it gives a really nice kind of spirit around where you live with all the neighbours as well. Grace, can I talk to you a little bit, please? You're obviously a huge Newcastle fan, and I know that you're much more dedicated to your club than your country, aren't you? Tell us a little bit about that.
Go to Newcastle pretty much every home game. What's really funny is this year, obviously at the last international break, there were so many Newcastle players, and now there was only 3 that took called up, fair enough. But then before the first ball was even kicked, now we've only got 1 left. So, you just kind of have to put your club on the shelf a bit and just say, well, let's just back the country, really. Because, I mean, Pickford, is he my number 1 choice throughout the season? No, but, is he England's best goalkeeper? Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to tonight.
No, I know, and I was giving you a bit of tongue-in-cheek as well, because I know you're very excited, despite Livramento having to go home injured. I'm going to talk to all of you again very soon, so keep yourselves getting very excited. As I say though, we are getting very close to kick off at 10 o'clock. England against Panama. It's an important game, despite them being qualified already for the knockout stages, because we know lots of you are asking questions, doing a bit of the maths and the calculations as to the permutations and what do you think might be the best path through the knockouts for England. So we'll be talking about all of that with Lizzie in just a little while. You can see there on your screen the warm-ups are very well underway on the pitch. Just beside the pitch, though, is our reporter, Sammy Mokbel. I'm pleased it stopped raining for you, Sammy. What's it like there in the stadium?
Yeah, no, it was much better than earlier where we were literally it was bucketing down, worried about my hair getting messed up, but here we are now. The rain stopped and the game's about to get underway. The players behind me are starting to trickle through to start their warm-up ahead of the game. The atmosphere is building. Just behind us here are the families of the England players. They're really excited. They're looking forward to this game, obviously wanting England and their family members to get the result. But it won't be an easy afternoon here for England at all. Panama will come here, sit deep, and it'll be up to England to break them down. They struggled with doing that against Ghana earlier this week, so the onus will be on England to try and unpick those locks. They've certainly picked an attacking lineup to do so. 5 changes. Bukayo Saka's in the team, Morgan Rogers is in the team. Marcus Rashford starts as well, and Jarell Quansah starts at right back ahead of the injured Reece James. But England will certainly on paper feel like they've got enough to get the job done today. But stranger things have happened and they've got to start quickly here.
Well, Sammy, thank you very much. I can definitely see those seats filling up behind you. I mentioned, though, the permutations, and with 51 minutes to go, it feels like a good time to look at some of that. What does this match really mean for England and for you as fans, because it'll also affect the times of the matches you might be watching going forward? Lizzie, you've been doing some hard work on the maths and the calculations for England's permutations.
Yeah, me and the team, I've got to be honest, me and the team. There's a big team working out all the permutations. I am just the deliverer of the news. So who are England going to play next? Well, I can't tell you right now, but I can tell you what might happen. Now, we know that obviously, as we say, they're through, but where they finish in the group will make a huge difference to who they play next. So this is how the table stands at the moment. England, as you can see, currently leading the group on 4 points, and they have a goal difference of +2. And that goal difference has been important, certainly in the third place table. So, you know, we need to keep an eye on that. If England win tonight or they match Ghana's result, they will finish as group leaders. That's what everyone who's supporting England wants to happen. If England draw and Ghana beat Croatia, then England will finish second in the group. They can also finish third, by the way, although it would be quite unlikely. They'd have to lose heavily to Panama, and then Croatia would have to beat Ghana. So what does it all mean then for the next stages? And Priya, you mentioned that it affects the time of day and where, which sort of stadium and where in the US that England will actually play that match. So if England finishes group winners, then we know that their next match will be this Wednesday. It will be at 5 p.m. UK time in Atlanta, and they'll be playing against a team who finish in third place. So that is the ideal scenario for England. They top the group and then they get a third place team. So one of the teams that obviously finished third, or the top 8 best third place teams, one of those, 5 o'clock, and it's going to be in Atlanta, the ideal scenario. If England finish second, and that will involve them drawing tonight, then they will play at midnight on Friday, but they'll have to travel to Toronto, which is in Canada, although it's not a huge distance because of where Toronto is in Canada, but still it involves, you know, them travelling a little bit further. And they will then play another second place team. So a bit better than if it was a first place team, but still, you know, ideally they want to top the group and they want to be playing a team that are the third place. But if England only finish third, which, as I say, is very unlikely, then they will play a team that finished first in their group. And that will be in Kansas City at 2:30 a.m. next Saturday morning. So aside from the fact that England fans will be wanting England to top the group and play a team that are of a third place finish, therefore not as strong, they will also be wanting them to top the group because, let's face it, everyone would rather watch England at 5 o'clock rather than midnight or 2:30 in the morning. So there you go, Priya. That is it. Those are the permutations. I still can't tell you who they're going to play. We'll know that at the end of all the group matches, which is tomorrow morning.
Yeah, absolutely. And we should say as well that the Ghana-Croatia game's happening at the same time as the England-Panama game. So we really can't say just yet, but we know lots of you will be watching those kind of things really closely. Let's go to some more of you who are watching the game amongst your friends and your family. Annabelle Rackham is in South London, in Brixton, for us at a fan zone there.
Good evening, Priya. So yeah, this is my third group stage game, and it's definitely the liveliest one that I have experienced so far. I am here with 2 England fans, all kitted out. We've got Arthur and we've got Kyle. Let's get an initial lineup reaction because we've just had it in the last few minutes.
Yeah, I think it's great to see how attacking it is. Nice to see Rashford, Rodgers starting. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think with Bellingham and Rodgers up like in the middle, it'll be nice and attacking. I think we'll win.
And I'm guessing you watched the 2 games previously against Croatia and Ghana. What did you think of the team?
So I mean, watching the Croatia game, I was thinking we're going to absolutely walk this group. Super easy, like really good watch. And then the Ghana game, it was like, oh, okay, it's a bit more nervy England time. So yeah, I've been confident for today, but not as confident as it would have been otherwise.
Yeah, I think the Ghana game wasn't a good watch, but I think we're a bit more attacking this time, so I think we'll win it.
And this is probably the best time to have a game on a Saturday night. It's been quite late during the working week previously, so are you looking forward to that aspect?
Yeah, definitely. This has been in the calendar for quite a long time. I think obviously not all the game times are ideal, and there's half of me is sort of like, actually, if we come runner-up, the game times are better, but then at the same time, I want England to win and I want us to kick on. So yeah, I mean, yeah, great that we got a good game time today, but the next few look a bit questionable, 5 p.m, 1 a.m, but obviously we'll be watching it every time.
And also, if England do win at midnight, that's going to be special for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my birthday at midnight, which is what she's alluding to. But yeah, it's going to be really special either way. I mean, it's great to watch England with my mates. We've been here since 5:30, so yeah, just great vibes.
And what do you think of, England's prospects going forward? I know we're all very excited and always very hopeful, but how far do you think they can go in the competition?
Look, I'm always hopeful, but I never get my hopes too high. But I think we'll win tonight. We'll get through to the round of 32, but from there on, who knows?
I'm slightly more positive. I think we're going to win it. I think, listen, let's put a statement out tonight. 5-6-0 will be fantastic. But I believe in the boys. I think we're going to win it. It's coming home.
And I know that you're a Liverpool fan and you're a West Ham fan. So you're not really looking out for any England players in particular tonight. But with your England hat on, who are you excited to see play? Because we have got a few changes.
I mean, it's boring, but Kane starting. It's just nice to watch him every game. New changes. I'm pleased that Rodgers is having a game. It's a really good season. So for me, that's exciting that he's in the lineup. Hopefully, he can prove that he should keep his spot and he plays the national tournament.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Not long till kick-off now. Back to you, Priya.
Thanks very much, Annabelle. Let's take you straight to New York. Live pictures here from the New York, New Jersey Stadium. And the teams are out warming up on the pitch. We've got both teams on the pitch. Harry Kane there. You could just hear the conversation with Annabelle there. Excited to just see him start and watch him play. And he's there on the pitch with the rest of the squad as well. It's interesting as well. You do see a lot of the players take a moment to, sometimes it seems like they're just soaking up the atmosphere and looking around the stadium, and it'd be interesting to think what they might be saying to themselves, as well as actually getting physically warmed up. We have seen shots also of the Panama team out on the field doing their thing. There you go, warming up themselves as well. We were hearing earlier, weren't we, from our sports journalist in Panama, from Panama, saying they do want to be able to score a goal in this tournament, but I know many of you will be hoping this isn't the game they do it for. They know this will be their last game, but I'm sure they'll be wanting to play for a decent amount of pride nonetheless. 43 minutes and 24 seconds until kickoff. We're here with you every moment of the way. Somebody who's been with England every moment of their campaign so far is our reporter Alex Howell, who's in Kansas City, where England's training camp is. And I've really enjoyed reading some of your stuff on the BBC Sport website as well, and the kind of insight you've got from inside England's camp.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity being around them so often. You get to see what is going on in the camp, games they're playing, and how the players interact with each other. So we heard from Morgan Rogers this week, and he spoke about how they've been playing a card game called Sky Joe, and they had some downtime, and they cycled to a nearby coffee shop, and a group of 6, including Jude Bellingham, Dan Burn, were around and playing that game. I also spoke to Jordan Henderson, and the players have got a game called Imposter, which they play on the way to training. So that is basically when there's an app, a word gets loaded, and everyone in the squad, apart from one player, gets told what that word is, and they have to work out who's pretending to know what is going on. And also, when they're coming out to train, they've started doing something new at their training pitch, which is around 15 minutes from the centre of Kansas City. And they play a playlist every day as they're going through their paces, preparing for that next game. And that's also done by an app. It's kind of DJ roulette. So you never know if you're going to have a responsibility of being the team's DJ.
It's quite incredible the lengths they're going to, and some of it seems spontaneous, which I think is extra lovely as well. But the lengths they're going to as a team to feel like a team. I mean, how much of it is conscious by the England sort of broader, the staff and the network around them?
So the FA make a big play of doing this. It's something they've built on over a long time, which is the more orchestrated side of it. So players in their rooms. They even have scents which they have at home. They have picture frames, digital ones, which flash through pictures of the players' families and things they like from their personal lives, just to make it feel like a personal touch or a home base. And you can really see it with the way the players interact with each other. I was in the press conference earlier this week, and Ivan Toney was having a bit of fun with Richie Eze. I think we can take a look at that now.
It makes us really difficult to play against.
This is your first World Cup, as you said.
This is inspiring the camp.
I mean, that just put a smile on my face watching it, and you get this sense that they feel really comfortable, and it is in the US, but around each other as well.
That's right, they've been here for a long time. Although the tournament is only 2 weeks into the actual World Cup, England were here 10 days before that with their prep camp in Miami. So this group have been together around 3.5, 4 weeks already. So they're spending a lot of time together. The players' families aren't based here. They have the option occasionally to fly in and out, but most of the times they're actually spending time with their families is after the games in the stands, which is when you see those really lovely pictures of the players with their families. But it is right, a lot of these players are friends, and it is something you don't really take into account. They play against each other every week, and they join up with England. So that is what Thomas Tuchel has tried to build and made a big point of. He wants the England team to feel like a club side, and he hopes that will take them to World Cup glory.
And I'm sure there are lots of fans as well hoping that it does as well. Alex Howe, thank you very much from Kansas City. Well, let's bring it back this side of the pond, shall we, and speak to our fans again, because they are all kind of sitting very comfortably at home. But I know some of you are also feeling a little bit anxious. Ollie's popped off. He'll be back, I'm sure. There he is. Got a little snack to eat, have you, Oliver? Pre-game rituals, I'm sure. Oliver, let me come to you, because you finished chewing what you're eating. But I want to know, because you mentioned Harry Kane missing that goal against Ghana. How does he come back from that? You know, what do you do when you're a player and you miss a chance? What kind of things do you think about? Oh, Oliver, I think we can't quite hear you. I think you might be muted. We've all been there, don't worry. I think we all do it on all our
there we
calls.
go.
There we go. Let's try again. Start again. Go on.
Bit embarrassing. All right. But yeah, when you're on the pitch, obviously, if you miss a chance, you've got to clear your head. Just go again. You're going to get more chances. But for Harry Kane, you know, he's been there before. He's a great great striker. You know, he finds the back of the net, and I'm sure he'll get back to scoring ways tonight.
Yeah, I know you're hoping that, and lots of other people are as well. Now, for those of you watching at home, the other thing we asked our fan wall to do, we do keep them very busy, is to pick some of their favourite moments of the tournament so far. Now, Andrew, I'm going to come to you first, because you chose Jude Bellingham's goal in the first game against Croatia. We're going to see it, and I'm hoping you can talk us through it as well. Let's go.
Yep, the goal's there because Clemson takes everybody on and just puts it lovely into the sky net, pinpoint perfect. It was absolutely a quality piece of football and just what we needed. What do you think, Bradley?
Yeah, because I think that set the tone for his second half.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we needed that positivity before half-time. Ethan, why did you like it, Ethan?
Was it a good goal, Ethan?
Yeah.
And Andy, we saw his celebration, here you go, as well, with the crowd, him soaking all of that up as well. I mean, how are you celebrating, you know, because it was a crucial moment in the game, as you say.
Yeah, we were jumping for joy here. We were absolutely ecstatic about it. It was unbelievable. Yeah, we were flying, you know, everything was going, the flags were going, everything. It was a really good moment. It was just what we needed at that time.
Now, Chris, let me come to you. You've chosen a moment that was a little bit more sentimental and hit the heart a little bit. It was their celebration, England's celebration after that Croatia game with the fans. Talk us through this as we see it on our screens.
It was just nice to see the boys go over to the crowd and actually get involved with them. like they're coming together and they're part of it. They're all in it together, whether it be the players, the management staff, or the supporters in the ground. They're all in it. They're all feeling it. They're all in the moment, like enjoying the occasion.
Yeah, and it is something you see often clubs doing, you know, clubs in the Premier League, for example, doing with their fans, particularly at their home stadiums. But what do you make of seeing this from the England squad, who don't spend the whole year together with this set of fans?
Well, to be fair, if you go back to like 2018 and 21, they were doing it then as well. So it just shows that the boys are coming together, no matter what club they play for, they're coming together as one to take it on for England and hopefully bring it home. But it's just nice to see them all getting on.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were hearing a little bit more about that as well a moment ago with Alex. On a similar kind of note, Grace, let's speak to you because you chose something also music related. Talk us through it.
So I picked the goal celebration music because all the countries' football associations have been instructed to pick a song for all the goal celebrations, and it's normally something to do with the country. And it's a very American thing. I know some Premier League clubs have adopted it. It's not really my thing, but I thought for this tournament you might as well embrace it. And France have One More Time by Daft Punk, so obviously, you know, legendary French DJ. So I was really thinking, what is England's going to be? And, you know, you think Three Lions, you think Sweet Caroline, and, you know, none of them are particularly upbeat, as iconic as they are. So when it was Chase the Sun was the one that rang out after Harry Kane scored. And then obviously we heard it 3 more times. I thought, because obviously that's such a famous darts song, and, you know, how popular darts is here and how much overlap sort of the fan bases with football have, I thought, you know what, that's such a good choice. It's upbeat, gets people going, reminds people of something good. So I hope we hear it a lot more tonight.
Yeah, it's a really good point because music does bring people together and football often does the same, but it's really interesting kind of leaning on music to sort of illustrate those moments in such a pertinent way. Really good moments so far. We've got one more and it's come from Hasib and Rakib. You have chosen Marcus Rashford's goal, also in that first game against Croatia. Let's see it and you talk us through it.
Before the goal, there was excellent build-up by England, and then Marcus Rashford, who made world-class movement to receive the ball, and then clinical finish into the bottom corner to put the game to sleep. And it feels good seeing one of your players that represented your club score for your national team and have a moment like that.
And what do you make of him getting his start tonight as well?
I'm looking forward to see him score and have a good performance for Panama today.
Are you, Rakib, what about score prediction? Or do you think Rashford scores again tonight?
For me, I think Rashford will probably score tonight. And my prediction will probably be like 4-1 England.
4-1 to England, a big scoreline, lots of goals. We'll be hearing Grace's song plenty of times if that's the case. All right, thank you all very much. You're all watching it at home, but we know lots of you are also watching it out and about. We can speak again now to Phil McCann, who's our reporter in Manchester. Is that swimming pool filling up, Phil?
It's filling up with people, thank goodness, nothing else. And over here, well, we can see they're just warming up here on the felt pitch. Just loosening up those hamstrings. Quite a few handballs though, and this regulation tiny balls I'm not really getting on board with. It's just like being in the New York, New Jersey Stadium, but actually it's a much more picturesque surroundings that we're in. This is the Victoria Baths in Manchester, a Victorian swimming pool that was closed in the early 90s and has since been restored as an event space like this. Let's have a quick chat over here to Tom and Charlotte. So, just tell me first of all, how are you feeling at the end of this long heat wave to finally be able to let loose a bit tonight?
Well, this is it. I mean, we all need this, don't we? After that massive heat wave, we were expecting a massive win tonight from England. We Senegal in the next round if we win it as well. So yeah, we want a good win tonight so we can get through the next round. Good. Yeah.
You were saying, Charlotte, you're saying you're here for the vibes. How are the vibes so far, anyway?
The vibes are absolutely buzzing here tonight. Like, as you can see, like, it's an amazing venue. Like, it's literally amazing. Like, where else would you be?
Obviously, the vibes can change with the score. Just to point out, I suppose. What did you feel about watching the Ghana game in the week? It wasn't perhaps the most inspiring performance from England.
Well, we just need some inspiration. I mean, I feel like Ghana kind of found us out a little bit. I mean, we do play attacking football, but it's down the wings, so it's quite compact in the middle. So we need to find a way to try and, if tonight goes the same way, we need to try and find a way to try and break those lines. I mean, Tuchel for me, he's done well at the moment, so he's got all my confidence anyway.
And there's no jeopardy tonight because we're definitely through, so you can just enjoy the vibe.
Yeah, like literally whatever way it goes tonight, it's just going to be an amazing night at the end of the day.
It's going to be a celebration, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Thanks very much, guys. Go and celebrate and get a bit cooler outside. It's nice and humid in this swimming pool. Benji and Molly and Doug are over here. How are you feeling ahead of tonight?
Yeah, really excited. Hoping it's going to go a bit better than it went on Tuesday, but I've got very high hopes that it's going to go well.
Yeah, excited. I think disappointing result the last game, but I'm confident we've got the squad depth. We've got the amount of players. I think we can bring it back and get a result today. So, yeah.
To be honest, I just hope they play a bit of free-flowing football like the first game instead of the second game, and then I'll be happy.
I mean, you obviously want them to be better than Tuesday, but does it feel like there's not all that much to worry about, given that obviously they're through?
I mean, yeah, we're through, but it's all about how you perform throughout the 3 games. Like, people are judging Belgium from only winning 1 game, and we don't want to be in a position like they are. So, as long as we are able to perform over at least 2 of the games, we are in a better position.
What are you here for tonight?
Sorry.
What are you hoping for tonight?
Well, hopefully, I'd say about 2-0 is my hopes. But the game on Tuesday was really entertaining, but just for England to manage to get through defence, score some goals, because it just makes it a lot more exciting.
What was the question, sorry?
What are you hoping for tonight?
Hoping for tonight? Probably a 2-0 win. I think it's probably going to be a bit cagey at the beginning. I think they'll probably sit back. But I think we've got the depth. I think we'll bring on some more attacking players. Probably hoping for a 2-0 win.
And there's also something a bit more special about tonight compared to the Ghana game, because I mean we're here on a Saturday night. We're here on a Saturday night, 10 p.m. It's almost ideal England game watching time, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's Saturday night. Like there's a lot going on. I think we've got a lot to hope for, and I think we've got a good chance of finishing top of the group as well. So.
Just finally, guys, I mean, there are plenty of pubs in Manchester. What made you choose an amazing venue like this one?
So Doug actually bought my ticket. So
Doug, what made you choose the venue?
Well, I've been here before for an exhibition, and it is a nice spot, and it's quite iconic in Manchester. So I thought it'd just be a nice place to be able to watch the game.
Thanks very much, guys. Yes, this certainly is an iconic venue. Got balconies all around the place where we'll be watching later on when this pool will be filling up, but not with water.
Phil, thank you very much for now. You can see around me both teams on the pitch warming up, and you can also see that we've been joined on set here by Misha Jervis, who's a sports psychologist, and you have worked very closely with the Lionesses and also the Football Association as well. So I'm so intrigued to be able to speak to you. And one of the things that I want to ask as well is just the general psychology around being involved with England, because we know they can be subject to many headlines and, you know, opinions from the sofa. So what is that like? What's involved with that?
It can be very easy to get caught up in the noise, I think, and there's a lot of noise. And the noise is social media and the noise is everywhere. So the challenge is to stay in the bubble, if you like, so that you can just focus on, because the most important people are the people that are around you, your teammates, the support staff, your coaches. So if you can focus on them, the rest is just noise, because they can't actually help you. The people who can help you are the people who are in the room with you.
Or on the pitch. And I was wondering what you think might be going through their minds at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, they'll just be trying to make it as normal as possible. They'll just be going through their normal prep routines. They'll have their own kind of warm-ups, so it's kind of like familiar territory. And we do rinse, repeat, and then it just kind of settles everything.
We've spoken a lot today about what England have been like in their camp and amongst each other. I wonder what you make of that, or any kind of things you've been particularly happy to see from this squad.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas Tuchel talked about connection, And he talked about that's why he felt that he could work with this group of players, and I think that's really powerful. The more connected we feel with the people around us, the safer we feel. The safer we feel, the more likely we are to perform. I kind of notice sometimes the work of Jordan Henderson on the sideline. I think he's a little bit like the glue, you know, that he's kind of there, he's supporting, he's talking all the time to people, and I think he's doing a phenomenal job of that. And it's so important to have someone who can anchor people.
Yeah, and you hear that credit given to him from a lot of the players.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring in our sports presenter in our Salford Sports Centre, Lizzie, who's got a question for you as well.
Okay, hi.
Hi, Mizia. What I was going to ask you is that I feel like England the players appear to have always been kind of stymied by that England pressure, and they always seem to play within themselves. And then I feel like, you know, recently with all the wonderful talent we have in the England team, that they have been a bit freer. And then watching the Ghanaian match, they went back to being kind of frightened England apart from the last sort of 15 minutes. So how much of that do you think might have been sports psychology, or is it just simply the lineup as to who's on the pitch?
I think there are a couple of things that were going on in that Ghana game. I think the first one is Ghana did a phenomenal job of actually just kind of sticking to that low block, keeping the players out, and they were persistent in it. And so in those moments, England got a bit frustrated to try and kind of find a way through. How do you do it? And I guess it looked like they were trying to be safe, keeping the ball. And of course, when you feel frustrated, you feel it in your body, and then things don't flow in the same way. So I think that's probably what's going on. Also, if they think about their day-to-day playing in the Premier League, it's rare that a game looks like that. So whilst you can train it, actually to play it in a game, I think is very different. So, you know, I think it's not an issue of fear, because that's not the language that they were talking afterwards. They were talking about the language of support and connection with each other, which I think is more important.
And the other thing as well is connection with the fans, because it's something the Lionesses have done incredibly well. Yeah. I wonder how that impacts the players and the kind of the key to doing that. It can't be superficial.
It's like you feel the energy, and the energy can lift you and be really, really powerful, and you can take that with you. And also when you feel that energy when moments are difficult, you know, it's like it's kind of, can you use the energy to enhance what you're doing? So yes, of course, connection is important. And, you know, it's like if the players feel the love from the fans will give the love back again.
Yes, well, I'm sure we'll be seeing lots of that in the stadium that you can see on your screens just now. Mersha Jarvis, thank you very much for joining us. So, talking of the players, they're going to be making their way onto that pitch in the New York, New Jersey stadium. Remind us of the starting 11.
Well, we talked about connection. So we already have a few connections here in this starting 11, Priya. Talking of Mark Gahey and Nico O'Reilly. Now, O'Reilly is finally starting. The two of them, of course, both play for Manchester City. This is the first time, though, that this 11 players have ever played together. So there isn't an initial connection in that sense, but, you know, obviously they'll kind of be bedding in. But the big talking point of today's 11 that start against Panama is Jarell Konsa. Playing in the right-back position. He's normally a centre-back. He can play right-back and did when he was very young, when he was in the Liverpool Academy, but it wouldn't be everyone's first thought, and many people would have thought that it would have been Jed Spence starting in the right back today. Of course, it would have been Reece James originally. The Chelsea player's injured. Livramento, who would have been his replacement's also injured. And so there are a lot of people who've been asking questions as to why Thomas Tuchel didn't bring in another right back when he had the option of making a change, but he didn't. So today we have Jarell Konsa there playing in this match against Panama. And I've got a little bit of reaction for you, Priya. So Alan Shearer, well, he's actually said that Thomas Tuchel has gambled with his fullbacks for this World Cup because he didn't bring in another natural right back to replace James and Livramento. But he does like Nico O'Reilly starting. So he said he's OK with Konsa, by the way. He said he's OK, and he actually generally likes the team, and he definitely likes Nico O'Reilly starting in this match. Gary Neville, now, of course, he is someone who can speak with authority on playing in the right back position for England. He says that Tuchel's making a lot of changes. Now, he said before the competition, didn't he, that he would be hoping to have the same sort of team for every match, 14, 15 players that he would use as his core. Well, already there are 17, and we're only about to start the third match. And he says that Konsa won't be able to play right back in the latter stages of the tournament. Of course, England has to get to the latter stage of the tournament first, but for now he is. He says, if you told me a couple of months ago, this is Gary Neville, if you told me a couple of months ago that Jarell Konsa would be right back for England, I would have said something has gone badly wrong. Well, England fans will be hoping that nothing has gone badly wrong. They should beat Panama. They beat them 6-1 in the last tournament. Harry Kane, of course, England talisman, the captain, he is starting. That would be a shock if he wasn't starting. He scored a hat-trick the last time that England played Panama. So let's hope that he gets a few more goals. And if he does, by the way, he will become the outright all-time England goal scorer at a World Cup if he gets... he's on 10 at the moment alongside Gary Lineker. So if he scores tonight, he'll go to become the outright England World Cup most scoriest. That's obviously not a word, but you know what I mean. Striker for England. So that's the lineup. Kind of controversial with Kwanzaa, but I think most people are feeling pretty positive about it. And England are playing in red. And we know what happened when they famously played in red in 1966. Priya.
I think let's make it a word, Lizzie, because I quite like it. It works well. 20 minutes and 37 seconds until kick-off. Yeah, we have got all your build-up to England's final group game against Panama, and many of you are choosing to watch it with probably a drink in your hand out in fan zones across the country. Annabelle Rackham's in South London in Brixton for us. Who have you got to speak to, Annabelle?
Hi Priya, yeah, it is super busy here now in Brixton. It's been really filling up over the last couple of hours. I was a bit worried. I was like, is the vibe going to be good? And yeah, very, very excited now for just under 20 minutes till kick-off. And finally, I've got some girls with me representing. So this is the first weekend game. So are you excited?
I'm so excited. I'm so ready.
And I mean, you're all Manchester City fans, is that right? So we've got 1.5 kind of, we've got one Man City player in O'Reilly and potentially Elliot Anderson joining. So are you excited to see him play?
I am, especially now because the midfield and the defence are kind of shaky. I'm excited to see how O'Reilly and Anderson can shore it up.
And what are you guys expecting from tonight's game?
Maybe a 2-0.
2-0. Who would be your goal scorers?
Jude Bellingham.
But a brace from Jude Bellingham?
Well, I watched the England versus Ghana game, and I think they're going to up the energy this game, so I'm excited for that. Yeah, putting on their best performance.
Yeah, because the opener was so good, wasn't it? It was so energetic, and then the Ghana game felt a little bit of a letdown. Yeah, a bit disappointing.
Very disappointing, yeah. Hopefully this time.
And what are you hoping to see from the team tonight?
I think we need to see the energy that will make England feel like favourites. Because right now I look at France, I look at Argentina, and I'm like, they're definite favourites, but I'm really unsure where England stand in the pecking order. So I want something that's quite definitive.
And the fans are going to be bringing a lot of energy tonight. It's so busy here. Talk to me about how you're going to enjoy a Saturday game, because we've had a Tuesday and a Wednesday. It's not been great so far.
I think the energy is high tonight, so it's definitely nice seeing everyone out, supporting their team.
I think it's going to be absolutely electric. It's going to be so much fun if England wins, so I'm looking forward to celebrating with everyone here.
We were at the Taste on Wednesday, so we hope that we can leave with our heads held high and maybe hit our Brixton town centre tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the clubs are going to be open at midnight, so we're only a couple of minutes down the road. So I will ask, I mean, you gave me a score prediction already, but I want all of you to give me one, and give me a goal scorer.
I'm going to go 3-1. I think we have to have a Kane brace and maybe someone out of a Gahey.
You've said Jude Bellingham. Have you got another goal scorer?
I can't think of one at the moment, but go England.
And from you?
I think Harry Kane's going to score. He's one of our strongest players, so maybe a 2-0 from England tonight.
There we go. 3 England wins we're predicting here. Back to you, Priya.
Thanks very much, Annabelle. 17 minutes and 22 seconds until England get underway. We've got you build up every minute between now and then, and things are getting spicy on the pitch in the warm-ups that are happening, but also in fan zones across the country and stateside as well. We can speak now to Neda Tawfik, who is at the Legends Bar in New York. It is their most famous sports bar. You probably have heard of it. It's got a reputation because of the crowd of people who are behind you right now.
Yeah, I mean, we have hundreds, if not over 1,000 people. You can see it's very hard for any standing room, and there are 3 levels to this bar, and England fans have just completely taken over. I mean, every so often they break out into famous football chants. We had a rendition of Oasis's Wonderwall at one point. And these are fans who, some of them were hoping to get tickets for England's first appearance here in New York, New Jersey. They had monitored pricing but didn't get lucky, but for them this is the second best thing, being with kind of like-minded fans in America's biggest city here in New York. We're right across from the Empire State Building, and fans have been here for several hours leading up to the game, pre-gaming, just getting ready, enjoying the atmosphere. A lot of excitement, of course, because England is through. So on one hand, they can watch without that kind of anxiety throughout the whole match. But on the other hand, you know, we've spoken to fans who have a lot riding on England winning the group. Some have already bought tickets to Atlanta, hoping that's where England's headed next. And if they don't, well, then that will change their plans quite a bit. But speaking to fans, they are quite confident that England will do well against Panama, perhaps even another hat trick for Harry Kane.
Neda, thank you very much. It is really quite atmospheric behind you, but check this out. London, can it outdo New York? Maybe, just maybe. This is an iconic staple, I think, really, when it comes to England matches. Box Park in London. The crowd here never fails to deliver. Plenty of England hats. Someone must have been giving those out or buying those from somewhere. And you can see everyone getting quite lively there as well. But is anyone quite as lively or ready for the game as our very own fan wall? Well, I think not. I reckon they're worth checking in with very shortly again. And yeah, those guys are getting really quite ready. But 14 minutes to go. And I want to see how you guys are doing. Chris and Ralph, you're having a laugh and a joke. Are you feeling comfortable, feeling ready?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, let's just get the game started, get the job done. It's going to be an easy England win tonight, without a doubt.
Okay, Junior, I'm getting a thumbs up from you. How are you feeling?
Yeah, really good. I'm still just really hoping that England win this game.
We've got Rashford back starting, and he is really key for us, and we've been discussing this. You know, he's a rocket, and we all know what happened to rockets. They take off, and we're going to race to a good lead, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's a really good person to be able to have.
One of our main.
Yeah, it's a good person to be able to have on the pitch. Andy and Brad and Ethan as well. Are your arms tired yet? You've been waving that flag for a very long time. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah. No, we're fine. We're happy, just getting ready for the match. Come on, England! Come on.
Okay, right. So on all of your pieces of paper then, and or on your whiteboards, it's come the time where I need your predictions for the match. So your score predictions for tonight on your pieces of paper. We've got an early one here from Rakib. That is 4-1 to England, and they're fighting over the space. 5-1 from Grace to England, I assume. 6-0, Ralph thinks. Chris, I can't quite see what you think. 5 to England, though. Yeah, 5-1. 3-0, Oliver reckons. 2-1, Junior reckons. Phil, though, is very ambitious. A 4-0. A 4-1 to England from Ethan, Brad and Andy as well. So either way, you're all expecting a lot of goals, and I'm sure nobody will be complaining about that. You've all been brilliant. Right, let's have a look what's happening at Box Park again, because it's always very lively there. As I was just saying, it's quite an incredible place to be able to watch England amongst such a lively crowd. And they're all looking towards, you can see they're all kind of illuminated by the screen, the big screen that will be in front of them. And we can also see, I mean, incredible as the crowd is there are tens of thousands of people in the stadium, in the New York, New Jersey stadium. A few ponchos. It has been raining. When I was talking to Sammy Muckwell, our reporter earlier, he actually had to be under his umbrella. won't tell him the forecast here, but it has been incredible to get a sense of the atmosphere there and here as well on some of our sofas on our fan wall. And we've also, of course, been bringing you some of that team news from Thomas Tuchel. The BBC Sport Live page has got all the details that you need. If you have missed anything at all, don't forget you have got coverage of the match, England's final group game against Panama, on BBC 5 Live or BBC Sounds. You can scan that QR code that is in the corner of your screens at the moment. So let's say one final thank you to our fans who are looking very excited and have had the perfect build up to the game. Oh, love the little football as well from Grace. That is fantastic. No one beats them. And a big thank you as well for all the analysis that we've had from Lizzie in Salford. Enjoy the match. Hopefully lots of goals. Good evening.